All right. So if you have a business that sells things on the internet, you're probably doing some form of content marketing, whether that's putting blog stuff on your website to get traffic or uploading podcasts or making YouTube videos like this one. And if that's the case, you know that consistency is super important. Like outside of creating a YouTube video that goes super viral, content marketing only works for your business if you do it consistently. And that leads to a pretty big problem, which is how are you supposed to come up with ideas quickly to talk about on your podcast or on your YouTube channel or on your blog every single week? And how are you supposed to do it in a quick and effective way? Well, my name is David White. I help business owners get more leads, customers, and sales. And I've got two tools that I want to share with you right now that will make this really easy. In fact, I'll give myself a challenge. We're going to try and come up with at least 10 years worth of content ideas for you in the next, let's say, 6 minutes. So let's get to work here. So, two tools I want to share with you. The first one is called the Escape Arrive Framework. Now, this is something that I learned from my main man, Frank Kern, many moons ago. And essentially, this is a way of graphically representing how your business helps people get some kind of transformation. Now, the reason why this is important is because people don't buy products, they don't buy books, they don't buy courses, they don't buy coaching or any of that kind of stuff. They buy transformation, whether that's transforming themselves from unhealthy to healthy, or transforming themselves from not knowing how to play a guitar to being comfortable and confident playing in front of their friends, or transforming themselves from like single to in a happy relationship, or furious at their kids all the time because they don't do what they're told, to being like a happy, calm parent. Whatever it is, people buy transformations. Now, your business most likely does a number of different things or has a number of different tools that you can share with people in order to get that transformation. So, this thing here, basically, this Escape Arrive framework, is a graphical representation of that. So, over here is your customer, and they're upset at their children, or they're going to the gym and not getting any result, or something like that. And over here, this is them after your information, your product, your coaching, your content, if you will, has done its job. Now, we can break these categories down into like milestones, like I've got shown you here, and then each one of those milestones can be broken down into individual steps. So I've put together sort of a sample Escape Arrive framework for someone who can't get any clients from their marketing online to someone who is able to get clients and customers from their marketing online. So in order to be a good digital marketer, there's certain categories of stuff that someone needs to learn how to do or master or get really smart at, for want of a better term. And that would be stuff like audience research and knowing like, what am I supposed to say to people? What do they care about? How can I help them? Knowing how to create good content and do social media stuff, write good emails and good copy, conversion mechanisms, that stuff like putting together a sales page, or running a successful webinar or a campaign, and then finally advertising. Now, if we took this content and social media milestone here and we broke it up, we could say that there are kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things that someone needs to know about content and different skills that they need to develop in order to be successful with content marketing. Now, probably your business looks entirely different to this. That's okay. This is not meant to be something that's like super regimented. If you were going to turn this into a product, obviously you'd want to put a bunch of time and thought into it. But for your business, I'm wondering, what are the sort of categories of stuff that someone needs to know in order to get the transformation that you help them with? And what can you teach them? And how could you break each one of those milestones down into particular steps? Now, once we have the answer to those things, then we can bring in our second tool, which is something that I call the content formulas. Now, I'm going to let you screenshot these because this is a really big list, and that's probably the best way to use this. But it's very easy to get caught up in doing stuff like how to X, like how to write a good blog, how to get your children to eat vegetables, or listicles. So that would be stuff like 5 vegetables that you should get your children to eat, or 7 ways to get people to click on your social media posts, or 9 things you should do when you're starting a podcast. Those are really easy to come up with, but there's a whole world of different ideas out there that you could be using with your content, like XYZ versus ABC. Should you be on TikTok or Pinterest in 2023? Or should ask questions. I like this one. Questions parents should ask when their children don't eat their vegetables, or things that new podcasters should ask but don't. So that's like frequently asked questions, but it's it should ask questions, things that people don't normally consider. Then we could have like reaction stuff. So I don't know, reaction to something that happened on TV or in the news. We can have checklists. We can have series or reviewed and tested. We can have story, all these different ideas. And here's what you'll get once you've put these two tools together. Over here on the left, I have graphically represented all the different topics of stuff that someone could talk about. Like, this is not an exhaustive list, obviously, but this is a list of all the different stuff that someone could talk about when it comes to digital marketing. And if we look here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different milestones, each with 6 steps underneath it. So that is going to give us 35 different things that we could talk about, whether that's like step 2 of the research milestone or just research in general. And we can apply those to, and it's not always going to be perfect, but we can apply those to the 39 different content formulas that we've got over here on the right. And that will give us, let me pull out my calendar here and see what the actual number is. Not my calendar, my calculator. So if we go 35 different things that we came up with from our Escape Arrive framework, and we times that by the 39 different things over here, that's going to give us 1,365 potential different pieces of content that we could create. Now, let's say that not all of these make sense and the number's actually closer to 1,000. Well, if you divide that by 52 weekly pieces of content, that gives you 19.23 years worth of content that you could, or the 19.23 years worth of content ideas that you can lean on when you're writing your blog, when you are creating your podcast, or when you're making videos on the YouTube like this. So with that said, it's super easy, like I mentioned earlier, to get caught in the trap of how-to and listicle articles. But there's a whole bunch more stuff that you can do to be interesting to your audience, to get their attention in a new way, and to really help them get that transformation that they're looking for with your content marketing. So if you found this helpful, I'm pretty sure I nailed my 10-minute brief here, but if you found this helpful, this is a really quick tool that you can use with your content marketing. But the only reason why we should ever do any kind of marketing, content or otherwise, is because we want to get more customers. And I've got a workshop, it's free for you to register, called the Content Growth Plan, that you can check out with the link on your screen right now. And here's what it is all about. The point of the Content Growth Plan is to create a 90-day execution plan that's going to help your business get more leads, more customers, and more sales by improving your top of funnel marketing. And when I say top of funnel marketing, that's just like, how do people discover that you exist, essentially? So finding you on YouTube, finding you on the podcast platforms, or finding your blog on the Googles or what have you, or even finding you on social media. So if you want to know how to get more leads, customers, and sales from your content marketing, click on the link, head on over and check out the Content Growth Plan workshop, and I'll see you inside.